My cousin smirked. Grandpa left it all to me. You get nothing. I didn't argue. I didn't yell. I just nodded like I believed him. He wanted me to fight, to beg, to break. I gave him silence. That silence burned him more than words. He strutted around the funeral, shaking hands, acting like he'd won something no one else deserved. He told relatives how Grandpa trusted only him. He dropped lines like, he knew who the real man of the family was. Some nodded, some looked uneasy, but no one challenged him. I went home that night with his smirk stuck in my head. Grandpa raised me more like a son than a grandson. He taught me to fix engines, balance books, shake hands firmly, never lie. And this cousin of mine? He barely showed up. He called only when he needed money, only when he was cornered. Grandpa helped him too many times. Paid his rent, bailed him out of tickets, even gave him a car once. And this is the guy he claimed Grandpa trusted most? I kept my calm. I went to work. I paid my bills. I lived my days like nothing had happened. But in the evenings, I replayed his words. Grandpa left it all to me. 2 weeks later, he showed up at my door. Not to grieve, not to talk about Grandpa, but to brag. He leaned against the frame, chewing gum, eyes smug. So I talked to the lawyer. Looks like I'll be moving into Grandpa's house real soon. Big place for one man, but I'll manage. Guess you'll just have to keep renting that little apartment, huh? I didn't answer. He wanted me to lash out, to call him a liar, to demand proof. I just stared at him. My silence made him uneasy. He shifted, tried again. Don't feel bad. Grandpa always said I had potential. You'll land on your feet. Maybe I'll let you come by, mow the lawn, keep the place tidy. I'll throw you a couple bucks. I closed the door in his face. That night, he called my phone 10 times. Left voicemails, each nastier than the last. You think ignoring me will change the truth? Papers are signed. Everything's mine. You're nothing. I saved every message. Weeks passed. He started acting like the owner already. He'd drive up to the house, park in Grandpa's driveway, walk around like it was his. Neighbors saw him. He bragged at family dinners, talked about renovating, leasing land, selling antiques. My aunts and uncles asked questions. He waved them off. It's all mine. Grandpa wanted it that way. They looked at me for a reaction. I just smiled, shrugged. Inside, I was waiting. I knew Grandpa. The man who woke before dawn, wore the same watch for 40 years, saved every receipt. The man who hated dishonesty more than anything. Grandpa didn't raise me on lectures. He raised me on example. I knew he wouldn't reward laziness, arrogance, lies. So I waited for the truth to come. And then, one quiet afternoon, the call came. The attorney's office. They scheduled the official reading of the will. My cousin couldn't stop bragging. He texted me, "Better not cry when you hear the truth. I might record it." I let him talk. The day came. Family filled the lawyer's office. My cousin sat at the front, chin high, bouncing his knee like he was impatient to collect his prize. I sat near the back, calm. The lawyer cleared his throat, opened a thick folder and began. That's when everything started unraveling. The lawyer started with formal words, the kind no one listens to. Dates, signatures, legal terms. My cousin smirked, already rehearsing his victory speech. Then the lawyer read Grandpa's own words. Clear, firm. To my grandson who stood by me, who never asked but always gave, who honored family with action, not words. My cousin's smirk faltered. The room went quiet. The lawyer continued. I leave the house, the land, the business shares, and all personal effects. The air shifted. My cousin blinked, confused. He whispered, Wait, what? The lawyer didn't pause. To my other grandson, who chose shortcuts over responsibility, who borrowed without returning, who promised without keeping, who thought family was an ATM. My cousin's face turned red. His jaw clenched. I leave $1, a reminder that you always valued money more than people. The lawyer slid a crisp single-dollar bill from the folder and placed it on the desk. The silence was crushing. My cousin stared at the bill like it might change. His lips trembled. He tried to laugh. That's fake. That can't be real. He told me everything was mine. The lawyer adjusted his glasses. The signed and notarized will is here. Witnessed, certified. There's no mistake. My cousin shot up from his chair. No, he told me. I was the favorite. He said he'd take care of me. You're all lying. Relatives avoided his eyes. Some shook their heads. Aunts whispered. Uncles sighed. My cousin's voice cracked. You can't just… He wouldn't do this. I sat in silence. No smile, no words. Just watching. The lawyer slid copies across the table. This is final. The court has already recognized it. Unless you have evidence of fraud, the assets transfer immediately. My cousin grabbed the papers, flipped through them, hands shaking. He found Grandpa's signature. He found the witnesses. He saw dates older than his promises. His shoulders slumped. He turned to me, desperate. You knew, didn't you? You knew all along. I met his eyes, calm, steady. Grandpa told me once, the truth needs no defense, just patience. His face drained of color. The lawyer cleared his throat. There's one more note. He pulled out an envelope, sealed with my name on it. Your grandfather left this for you. My cousin lunged forward. What about me? Where's mine? The lawyer pointed at the dollar. That's yours. People snickered. He froze, humiliated. I opened the envelope. Grandpa's handwriting, steady and sharp. You know who you are. You know why. Use what I leave you not for pride, not for revenge, but for building something better. The truth revealed itself today. Let it speak for you. Grandpa! My throat tightened. I folded the letter carefully, tucked it in my pocket. My cousin slammed his fist on the table. This isn't over. I'll fight this. The lawyer cut him off. You'll spend money you don't have fighting documents you can't beat. That's your choice. My cousin stormed out. Doors rattled behind him. The rest of the family sat stunned. Some congratulated me. Some stayed quiet, uncomfortable. But everyone knew. The one who bragged loudest had fallen the hardest. That night, my phone lit up. Calls from my cousin. Voicemails full of rage, then tears, then begging. Please, man, let me stay in the house. Just for a while. I don't have anywhere else to go. You know he loved me too. You know it. I let the calls pile up, just like the voicemails I'd saved weeks earlier. Every lie, every threat, every confession of his greed. I saved those too because something told me this wasn't finished. And I was right. 2 days later, he showed up drunk at the property. Banging on the door, shouting my name. Neighbors called the police. He screamed that I stole everything, that I cheated him. The officers found him slumped on the porch, reeking of whiskey. They escorted him away. Word spread fast. His reputation, already shaky, collapsed. Family who once pitied him turned their backs. Friends stopped answering his calls. Even the shady lenders he owed money to started circling. He tried one last thing, a lawsuit. He hired a cheap lawyer, claimed Grandpa was coerced, that I manipulated him. But I came prepared. The voicemails, the texts, the witnesses, the timeline. They crushed his claims. The judge barely looked at him before dismissing the case. When the gavel fell, my cousin looked smaller than I'd ever seen him. His smirk was gone. His arrogance dissolved. All that remained was emptiness. And me? I walked out calm, just like I walked out the day of the funeral. Silent, steady, patient. Because Grandpa was right. The truth doesn't need defense. It just needs time. Weeks passed. The house was quiet, but my cousin's chaos echoed everywhere. He sold his car to pay debts, pawned his bike, burned through cash fast. Each week, he called less angry, more desperate. Please, just let me stay in one room. I'll pay rent. I swear, I didn't answer. Relatives called, urging me to forgive him. He's family, they said. I asked them, where were you when he said I deserved nothing? When he laughed in my face? Silence answered back. Then came the night he showed up again. This time, not drunk, just broken. Standing in the driveway, thinner, paler. He held the same dollar bill the lawyer handed him. He whispered, "It's all I've got left." I looked at him. No anger, no pity, just truth. That's all you ever earned. He dropped the bill, turned, and walked into the dark. After that, he disappeared. Some said he moved states. Others said he vanished owing money to the wrong people. I didn't look. I stayed busy. Repaired the old farmhouse, invested the shares, grew the land. Piece by piece, I built something solid, something lasting. One evening, sorting Grandpa's old boxes, I found a photo, him as a young man with his brother, both smiling, arms around each other. For a moment, I wondered if Grandpa hoped my cousin and I would end that way. But then I remembered his words. The truth revealed itself today. Let it speak for you. The truth had spoken. Loud enough for a courtroom. Loud enough for a family. Loud enough for him. My cousin thought winning was taking everything. Grandpa knew winning was earning it, so I lived by that. Quietly, patiently. Some nights, I still hear echoes of his voice. Dad wanted me to have everything. You don't deserve a penny. But then I remember the look on his face in court when the lawyer slid that single-dollar bill across the table. Ash white, silent, crushed. That was the moment everything shifted. Not because I beat him, but because the truth finally stood up for itself. And sometimes, that's the best revenge of all. Letting people trap themselves in the lies they built.